I've only got 39% battery, and this is Friday Sews. Hello friends, welcome back to Love My Crafts. I'm Mary. If you're new here, welcome. Thanks for stopping by. This is episode 13 of Friday Sews. Friday Sews is a hashtag started by Jen from Today in Jen's Sewing Room. So thank you so much, Jen, for bringing us all together. So I'll start with what I'm wearing. I have to make this quick because my battery's running low. I could plug it in. If I have to, I will. This is a laundry day tee, and I think it was one of my first, so it has, let's see, can you see those puckers? I'm not sure. I've had it for a while. It's worn out, and I don't know about you, but if I ever wear jeans with buttons and zippers, I have a few t-shirts, especially the ones I wear on the weekend. They have this speckling of holes right at the belly. You get that from your jeans, and I saw somewhere along the way there is a hack to put something on your button and zipper that makes that not happen, but I forgot what it was. So if you know what it is, please let me know in the comments. So I haven't been here in a while because I have to go to bed really early, and that's my sewing time. So I don't go to bed early, and then I'm sleepy, and it's just a never-ending cycle. And when I get in here to sew, I get to sew for about a half an hour. So I managed to accomplish three actually, finished items and one video in the past 2 weeks, 3 weeks? I'm not sure. So the first thing I'm going to start with is I made pants. I'll pop pictures up. I can't stand the pictures, but I will pop them up. I tried them on with my curved hem tank just to see. But these are the Love Notion Allegro, and I made them capri style, and I made it out of a quilting cotton. See, and I followed Karina from Lifting Pins and Needles. She gives you a little hack to make patch pockets, and of course she's tall, so she could use the regular pattern piece and just cut the rectangle, and when I put them on they were way too long, so I had to shorten them. And I didn't have enough. This waistband calls for a lining and an outside, and I didn't have enough red, so I used some of my apron fabric. Now I did follow her whole series about pants making, and I did the measurements and I fixed my rise, but then I realized as I was going through and I was doing, thank goodness this is a wearable muslin, I had to, first of all, I did the back pockets last, so they're probably not even, but the marking on the pattern of where they go is just not right. When I first sewed them on, I was wearing them around the house, and I would put my phone in my pocket and it was in the wrong place. You know, when you get used to where your pocket is and you just pop your phone in. And of course they were weighing them down, so I thought, oh, maybe I should tighten the elastic. And the elastic it's really in there good. See, I can't even find it. The opening, I just left it open because it's so good you can't even see it. So I just grabbed them and put a little stitch here and here to tighten them up with just a little bit more. So I was like, oh, that was too loose. And then I had some looseness even after I did the scoop, which I watched in the video. I think I did the scoop on the back rise because I had some sagging in the back. Then I noticed it was still too loose here, so I had to take them in. Oh, there's a loose thread. Wouldn't be Friday Sews without a loose thread. Well, we'll get that later. So I did take them in, but they're tapered legs, so I didn't have that, because I have very small calves and ankles, and if the capris are really wide leg, they just look goofy. Like I have toothpicks or something for legs. So these are tapered. So I didn't have to do anything basically from the knee down. So then I realized basically what all this did was make me realize I had the pattern printed and I only picked 2 of the sizes, and I don't know what I was basing them on. I guess on my waist. So I did the waist of a 22 and then I just did an 18. But then when I was looking at it again and looking at my measurements again, I could have gone, basically I could have done a 20 in the waist and gone down to a 16 by the hips. So all of that I just took in probably would have been taken care of if I had cut the right sizes. And that might have solved the elastic problem if I did followed the chart for cutting the elastic for the right size. So, because I did cut off about 4 inches of elastic once I was done, and it was still a little too loose. So what I decided to do was, I don't have my glasses on, I can't see a thing because the glare. No, I can't find it. I reprinted the pattern. I did from a 14 to a 22 because there's a section you can, it gives a measurement for your thighs and what size that would be. And my thighs fall into a 14. My hips are a 16. My waist is a 22 or a 20. So it's all over the place. So I said, but this way I can grade it the right way, then follow all the steps I did before, and it should work. And I mean, this pattern is great. You can make jogger type pants. I think it's all for woven though. You can make shorts, you can make a dress, 2 different kinds of skirts, 2 different kinds of pants with 2 different lengths, and 2 different kinds of shorts. So you get like 6 patterns in here, and I think I got these when they were on sale for $5. This pattern when it was on sale. Maybe it was on sale for $5 or during the 40% sale that they had a couple months ago. So now I have to glue this together, go through the whole thing again with the measurements and the sizing and the rise, making sure the rise is right. I had no idea about rise. I learned so much from Karina. You really need to watch her, and there's a few other people that do a whole series on pants fitting. I tried looking at the Nancy Zeman method, but I'd have to actually sit down and really read through that section. And I would like to try it someday when I get used to making pants, trousers. I've only made pajama shorts and they all come out wonky. So these actually fit pretty well. They're very comfortable. I mean, they're cotton and you can tell. I mean, they're quilting cotton, so they could be stronger than regular, but they'll wear out easily. But I looked at a tag of one of the cargo capri pants I have, and it says, I believe it's 98% cotton, 2% spandex. Yes. So, but they don't feel stretchy. And how do you get what fabric is that at the store? It's not quilting cotton because that doesn't have spandex. So what is that? Because this feels like those pants, but I know it's not strong enough. Anyway, and there's no interfacing on anything except for this pocket facing that Karina tells you how to do with that hack. So these came out pretty good for a first wearable muslin. And I have the same kind of quilting cotton in black, and then I have a blue linen I had showed a while back that I got from Joann's. So the goal is to eventually make the blue linen pair. By then it'll be winter. And I'll be making, I have another pattern from Love Notions from the sale, Sabrina Slims, that makes basically like a leggings with the seam down the middle, which are great for wearing at work because they don't look like pajamas. completely. So the other thing I made was my tessuti apron, and I'll have to pop up pictures because it's downstairs. I wear it constantly whenever I do dishes, and only the apron gets wet. I don't get all wet. And if I do end up baking something again, I won't get messy. So that thing is amazing. I love it. It's one size fits all. And it's, you know, it's a little weird to get on, but once you get used to how to put it on, it's great. And I just hang it on something in my kitchen, and I grab it every time I'm gonna do dishes. And the pattern is free. So keep that in mind for gifts. If you know anybody that likes to cook or doesn't like to get wet when they do dishes because they are vertically challenged and the sink for some reason is not the right height. But I think it came out great. I love the fabrics together. I love the little pocket, and it has the little, I think I showed last time, I had a little sneak peek. Perfectly imperfect in every way with a little cat on it. So that was the apron. And then next to me, Patsy is wearing my results from my dice that I just put that video out Tuesday, yesterday, Wednesday, Thursday, I don't know what day it is. I put it out Tuesday. And I ended up keeping the cowl, fixing the shoulders, and I had to take it in where the waist went out into a bump from my terrible grading on my old pattern piece, and took off about 1.5 inches, I think, for the height. And it came out pretty good, and it has nice cuffs on the sleeves. I love a nice cuff on a sleeve when it's cold and you can pull your hands in. Of course, it's very warm. I do have pictures of that too. I'll pop them up, but it was really tough to try that on. So I think that's all I actually finished because I don't have time. Normally we talk about plans. Well, my plans are very vague and spread out. I can't do monthly plans because I would never meet my own deadline. So my plans are to cut and glue and put together the Allegro pattern and tweak all the alterations, try them in the black, and if that fits, and I won't do all the fancy pocket stuff until I know the fit. Well, it's just, you know, it's easier to put the pockets on before you sew them together. So why not? I don't know. I'll make them fit. Once they fit good, we'll go to the linen. But I may get sick of waiting and the time that it takes me to get around to things. And like Carole says, from So Carole, she said, just go for it. Just make them. So we'll see what I end up doing. But that's my plans to try that. I still haven't made a needle. I obviously have a new dice project that I have to work on. And if you want to see what I rolled and what my next project is, I will have that video linked below. Oh, I did some mending. Backtrack a little bit. I have 3 pairs of jean shorts from Walmart. They're the Levi's signature brand. It's not really Levi's. And the first pair I bought fits fine. They're Bermuda shorts, but they have that little cuff. They roll up, but they're only sewn on the sides, so the cuff always unravels or unrolls. So the second 2 pairs I got, for some reason, exact same size, looser and longer. So the cuff would be all messy and they would go past my knees, but only halfway. So it was just weird. So I mended those. I serged off about 1 inch, refolded them and sewed the sides, and they fit so much better. And I love them. And the other mending I was going to do, I didn't finish. I did cut the neckband off of this shirt, and I do have a gather, but I keep pulling the gather out because I can't get it even. And then I was going to, I think, cut the sleeves off. I just didn't get around to it. So that's that. Now, oh, this is the elastic you use for those Allegros. I happen to have a roll. But if you follow the pattern for putting the waistband together and then trying to get this big elastic through the little hole they have you leave, I was untwisting for about an hour. So that's another thing Karina from Lifting Pins and Needles has, is 6 different ways to do a waistband. And there's one I want to try, probably with my, whatever I do next for my Allegros. That would be so much easier than the lining and the outer waistband and putting it together. So that's the, I don't know, that's so random. What's on my sewing table? Hashtag some elastic. You don't even want to know. When I did the dice video, I had to pause, clean the table, roll the dice. So, Dollar Tree fabric. Look at this stuff. I'm gonna open a couple of them. Let's see. Isn't this adorable? Is this the right way? Look at that. Mushrooms and, oh, it's a little hedgehog. Oh my gosh. That's adorable. So I got 2 of these. My mother said, I hope you're gonna make something. And I said, well, maybe I'll make some placemats for Thanksgiving. Maybe they'll be done by then. I think this is one that's by itself, and I think it actually says, it's all about Thanksgiving. It says a heart full of thanks, but it has gnomes on it. I don't feel like playing with the sticker. Sometimes the sticker comes right off. Like that. Oh, mushrooms and autumn leaves. Oh boy. Too bad I didn't have this before I sent my care package to the UK. I know somebody that really loves mushrooms. I wish we could teleport care packages, especially when it's across the pond. Oh, this one is so cute. Look at the gnomes. Oh my gosh. Squirrels. So adorable. I have tons of this stuff. Every time I go to the Dollar Tree, and I take my mother there a lot, so, oh, just get this one and get that one. Why don't you get 2 of that? Okay, Mom, now what do you want me to make? Oh, they're so adorable. I did make myself a coaster, I think, with gnomes and stuff. And I use it at work. So I got a bunch of those. I can't even put them in a project bag because who knows when I'll get to them. Okay, so now it's the life portion. So I won't be able to get much sewing done this week because on Saturday, we are going on a little mini vacation. Kind of regretting that now. We should have taken a week anyway, but going on a little mini vacation over to Connecticut. We're going to stay, it's an Airbnb, but it is a Shasta camper. It's not the original. It's, you know how they made that new version of the Shasta in 2015, I think it is. If you look up a Shasta, it's like the, they almost remind me of this type of thing, this type of camper. It's my favorite. If I ever win the lottery, I'm buying myself a Shasta and doing it all over, remodeling it. My spare time. So you stay in this camper, but you're on a farm. So there's goats and chickens and ducks and pigs. So I think you can tour the farm, but you also have your own little private area. So we're staying there for a couple days. And Luke will stay at the sitter, which he loves to go to. They probably have 50 dogs that week because I think it's a holiday weekend in the US. And Kitty, where is she? She's guarding the door over there. Kitty will have to depend on my children to feed her. I keep dry food for her all the time though, so she's fine. And I text them every meal time for her and I say, Kitty's hungry. Did you feed Kitty? Did you give her treats? It's 9 o'clock. Did you give her bedtime treats? So, just to get out of the house and pretend I'm an empty nester for 2 days because I'm supposed to be an empty nester and I'm not. Oh, anyway, that's life. That's what's happening in life. And my boyfriend has not gotten the okay to come out of his boot yet, so this should be adventurous. Because for some reason, even though it feels like it's healing and everything looks good, the x-ray says otherwise. So, hopefully the doctors will figure something out. I forgot the other thing I got. It's very boring. Flexible cutting mats. I think they come for $1.25, you get 2. And if you saw a while back when I made the cup cozies, I made a template out of, that's what I used to make the template. I saw them there the other day. I said, ooh, there was something I wanted to make a template for. I think it was mug rugs. So I guess that's gonna do it for me, but I do wanna leave you with a quote. This is very good advice. The sewing room isn't going to clean itself, so just close the door. That's what I do. The only one who knows how bad it really is Kitty. And she has her own little spot, so she doesn't care. She actually makes more of a mess. I'm going on a tangent, but the other day I have, you know how you have a feeder in your sewing machine? A little piece of fabric that you put. I have one that's kind of thick, so when I'm sewing something a little bit thicker, I can just pop it under the back of the thing. The presser foot. It fell on the floor yesterday, and I knew I needed to pick it up. But I'm like, that's a really big piece. She might not pick it up. This morning, sure enough, where did I find it? In her water dish. So, the sewing room is messy on anything that she can't get to. But the floor, I gotta be careful. No pins, no pieces of fabric. Anyway, that was my quote. And there was something else. So, as always, I want to thank you for stopping by and leaving a comment. Every comment warms my heart and makes me feel so special. And this keeps me from having to babble to my family about what I'm sewing and trying to get them to understand it. So please, keep coming back, keep hitting the like button, leave the comments, comment on someone else's comment. I love that. Sometimes I see a comment on somebody else's video that is so funny. I have to comment underneath their comment because they crack a joke and it's usually really funny. But I know I asked some questions too, so if you have the answer, let me know. And let me know what you're doing. And I think, is it still only Rhode Island that has this holiday, the August, I think it's 12th. It's a Monday holiday. I think it's Victory Day. They used to call it something else. But is it only Rhode Island or does everybody else have it? Let me know. So until next time, happy sewing. Thanks for stopping by. I'll see you soon.